The story begins with a scholar being accompanied by two women at a giseng house. One of the women tells him that the giseng house is currently noisy because the new scholars are holding a welcoming party.
나으리도 성균관에서 구미호에게 걸리는 건 아닌지 심려됩니다.
She also shares a rumor that has been circulating recently about a fox monster that seduces men and then takes their liver. The man named Shin becomes afraid to return to the giseng house. For him, beautiful women could only be found there. The two women blush at Shin's flirtation, and then it's revealed that Shin is actually a gumiho, a fox human. Despite being born as a lowly beast, Shin dreams of becoming human. The gods grant his wish, but with a condition. Shin must turn his red marble blue using human energy. He must complete this before 1,000 years pass, or he will grow 9 tails. And there, Shin chooses one of the women to gather energy into his red marble. He will later erase her memory so that she doesn't remember what Shin has done.
이치를 깨우쳐 붉은 구슬이 생길 것이고 금수가 인간이 되리라. 길을 넘기기 전에 인간의 정기로.
After that, Shin leaves. He wonders about the gumiho rumors he heard earlier. He lives through the ages, collecting human energy in his red marble from women. For him, it's an endless cycle of repetition.
앞으로도 이렇게
On the other side, a beautiful woman named Dam is wearing traditional Joseon royal attire. She is very excited to play the role of a queen. Her friend reminds Dam that their purpose in coming there is just to write about the Joseon dynasty.
잊을만 하면 나타나는 어인 연유로 옥류를 비추시는 것이.
오늘 미세먼지 너무 심한데?
왜 내가 무술 옷을 입어? 나 가혹하네. 공부는 잊지 말자고.
예, 10,000원이나 내 거늘. 무술이야, 같이 가자꾸나.
That night, Dam hangs out with her friends. One of her male friends, Jae-jin, is heavily drunk, depressed after being dumped by his girlfriend.
야, 울긴 왜 울어? 그냥 길 가다가.
보고 싶어.
호구 같은 게 맨날 간쓰게 다 빼주고.
재진아 이 나쁜 계집애. 돌아와 내 나의 곁인.
Another friend of Dam's leaves early. Dam is forced to take Jae-jin home by herself. She struggles to carry him and ends up falling. While groaning in pain, Jae-jin suddenly runs and ends up on top of Shin's Ferrari. Dam, seeing this, becomes anxious, especially when Jae-jin vomits on the luxury car's windshield. But Shin forgives him because Dam is a student. Dam is so charmed that she thinks Shin is an angel.
저 혹시 차주분이신가요? 죄송합니다. 내려와. 야, 진짜. 이거 야, 하지 마세요. 제 연락처 드릴 테니까 변상은
학생이죠.
친 건데 그건
괜찮으니까 그냥 가요.
아, 그럼 정말 감사합니다.
Suddenly, Dam nearly falls, and Shin catches her. Accidentally, Shin's red marble drops and enters Dam's body. Instantly, Dam faints. Shortly afterward, Dam regains consciousness. She realizes she is in Shin's house.
아, 어제 그 빨간 차 차주분? 여기 있는 거예요?
못 깨어나길래 한우섭.
Shin tells Dam that his red marble fell and entered her body. For her own safety, he asks her to stay with him temporarily until the marble can be removed.
당분간 같이.
동거를 하자고요? 아, 이 사람 진짜 보자 하니까.
Shin also tells her that he is a gumiho, but Dam doesn't believe him. Finally, Shin reveals his true form. Shocked, Dam faints once again. Soon after, Dam wakes up again and sees Shin standing in front of her. Dam looks terrified. Shin goes to the kitchen to make her a cup of tea, but Dam immediately escapes from the house. On her way, Dam feels like someone is following her. She quickens her pace. Panic increases, and she struggles to open her house door. Eventually, she manages to get inside and quickly locks the door. But someone starts forcing the door open, and Dam becomes more frightened, until she realizes it's her younger brother.
왜 이래? 너라니 밥 먹으려고 전선을 다 했구만.
야, 같이 가!
Dam is confused whether or not she should tell her brother. But either way, She remains deeply scared after encountering a gumiho.
아, 진짜.
That night, Dam's brother is startled to find her standing in front of him. He's annoyed that Dam keeps following him around. Eventually, Dam confesses that she met a gumiho and wants her brother to shoot it with his bow. But instead, Dam's brother points the bow at her, asking her to leave his room and stop bothering him. Dam steps out and realizes that no one is going to believe her.
구미호는 왜 이렇게 잠잠해?
The next day, Dam lamented her fate. The world was so peaceful, yet she had to encounter a gumiho. Suddenly, a man sitting in front of Dam touched her. Dam suddenly felt pain in her stomach. The red marble inside her body reacted, causing her the pain.
똥인가?
여자분 화장실 급하시대요. 네, 감사합니다.
When she arrived at campus, Dam looked unwell. Suddenly, her friend dressed in a soldier's uniform approached her and hugged her from behind. Once again, Dam felt an excruciating pain, which eventually caused her to faint. Meanwhile, Shin seemed to sense what was happening to Dam and began to worry about her. Suddenly, he received a call from his friend. Shin then met his friend, who was also a gumiho, at the police station. The friend asked Shin to use his magic to erase the memories of people involved in his problem. Shin asked why he didn't use his own magic, but it turned out the friend could no longer use magic because he had become human 4 years ago. Shin and his friend continued their conversation at a restaurant. Shin's friend kept boasting about his success in becoming human. However, Shin mocked him back, saying that he still did not fully understand what it meant to be human. His friend pointed out that Shin had not succeeded in becoming human because he was too selective in gathering human energy. It was then revealed that Shin's friend was the gumiho rumored to eat his victims' livers.
소문이 안 날 수가 없는 미모.
한 번 빠지면 간이고 목 도성을 소문이 파다하더군.
Shin advised him not to do that anymore, but his friend refused. He told Shin not to interfere in his affairs, and also advised him not to be arrogant toward women, as it could drive them away. For Shin, however, absorbing energy from a woman he did not like felt disgusting. The scene returned to the present. Shin then ended their conversation because he sensed that someone wanted to meet him. In short, Shin returned home and was surprised to see Dam suddenly visiting him. Dam told him that she felt pain in her stomach, and realized it might be caused by the red marble she had swallowed. Shin then explained that it was not the marble itself, but rather a reaction that occurred when a human with his red marble came into contact with someone born in the year of the tiger. Since tigers are natural enemies of foxes, the same effect applied to their energy. Another bad thing was that Shin was born in an unlucky year, making him the only male gumiho. However, Shin assured her that she would be fine as long as she stayed by his side. Shin touched Dam to prove it, and suddenly blue energy radiated from the red marble in her body, shocking him.
전 구슬 빼기 전까진
통증이 사라져요. 그래서 같이 지내자고 했던 거예요?
That night, Dam packed her clothes. Her younger sibling was puzzled by Dam's decision to leave home so suddenly. Dam had trouble explaining, but assured her sibling that everything she was doing was for her. When about to say goodbye, Dam asked her sibling to contact her often. Dam was afraid that she might not survive. Naturally, her sibling was confused by her words since she was only leaving for work. They then suggested that Dam buy a self-defense tool. In short, Dam arrived at a self-defense store. At first, she only bought an electric stun device. However, after seeing the news about a woman whose liver was mysteriously taken, Dam also bought pepper spray.
분사하면 최대 6시간까지 곧
마치 장기를 파헤친 듯 복부와
장기라뇨?
뭔가 목적이 있으니까.
Finally, Dam arrived at Shin's house and was startled by the sudden appearance of a cat. Dam then tiptoed into Shin's house, only to be surprised when she saw Shin watching her from the window. But in an instant, Shin was already standing in front of her. He admitted that he had used his teleportation ability. It turned out he only wanted to help carry Dam's bag. Once again, Dam was impressed by Shin's kindness. When she entered the house, Dam accidentally dropped the self-defense tools she had bought. She was at a loss for what excuse to give, worried that Shin might realize she suspected him.
스프레이도 있네요.
Dam claimed they were gifts for him, saying her grandmother had taught her always to bring a gift when staying over at someone's house. When about to sleep, Dam heard something. She immediately got up to check and was shocked to see Shin outside holding a sharp sickle. Dam quickly left her room but became even more frightened when she saw fresh blood dripping from the freezer. She grew even more scared when Shin was suddenly behind her. Shin explained that he had only been cutting trees. As a fox, he was a nocturnal creature and had to do such things at night. Shin also approached the freezer and told her the blood came from cow's blood, claiming that the supermarket staff hadn't packaged it properly.
근데 다미 씨,
After that incident, Dam grew even more worried about whether she could sleep. However, she ended up sleeping very soundly. Shin even had to wake her up. Dam quickly got out of bed, still suspicious that Shin was pretending to be nice while planning to target her liver. But instead, Shin had prepared tea that was good for her liver, leaving Dam confused once again. After that, Shin told her he had bought some food. He had to buy a lot because he didn't know what Dam liked. Not only that, Shin also said he would pay Dam's tuition fees. Dam was shocked when she saw the money Shin sent. She seemed happy, but her joy faded as she remembered the reality of having to live with a gumiho. Not long after, Shin called her. He told her he would be going to Singapore to attend a book publishing event. Shin then transformed himself into a middle-aged man, startling Dam. He explained that he didn't want his appearance to attract too much attention.
정말 다재다능하시네요. 제가
After her lecture, Dam was invited by her friends to go to a club. Dam refused because she didn't have time for that, but her friends kept insisting. Eventually, Dam agreed to go. That night, Dam's friends were shocked by her stylish appearance. They were amazed because Dam was wearing a luxurious outfit.
이 클럽이야 출근 시간.
Then they went into the club. Once inside, Dam accidentally dropped her phone, and a man picked it up for her. The man turned out to have been born in the year of the tiger. He began flirting with Dam. Dam couldn't fight back because she felt weak from the reaction of Shin's red marble. The man then led Dam away from there. Meanwhile, Shin also sensed something bad happening to Dam. He tried calling her, but there was no answer. The scene returned to Dam being taken away by the man born in the year of the tiger. Dam tried hard to make her body move, but she was too weak. Suddenly, a man walked toward them. It was Shin. He immediately hugged Dam. The man born in the year of the tiger asked who Shin was. Shin replied that he was Dam's friend, but the man asked for proof. Shin then called Dam's number, which was in the man's possession, and asked why he had her phone. The man claimed to be her friend. Shin immediately asked what Dam's name was, but the man couldn't answer. Shin then snatched Dam's phone and walked away, though the man still tried to stop him. Shin quickly threw the man aside with his strength. Not long after, Dam regained consciousness, but pretended to still be unconscious in front of Shin. Shin knew she was awake
뭐 따뜻한 거 좀 시켜줄까요?
and offered her cake. Without thinking, Dam asked for tiramisu. After things calmed down, Dam admitted that she had actually hoped Shin would scold her for going to a nightclub and making him come all that way to save her. But Shin didn't. For him, the most important thing was that Dam and her marble were safe.
그래도 앞으로는
Shin then revealed that he knew Dam was afraid of him, so he simply asked her not to be afraid anymore. After all the events and misunderstandings, Dam finally truly stopped fearing Shin. After that, their relationship grew closer, with no more fear in Dam's heart. They walked together. When suddenly Shin blocked Dam from a man, telling her that the man had been born in the year of the tiger. Dam then asked if Shin could take out the marble. Shin told her he would find out, as no human could hold it for too long. Dam asked how long a human could survive with the marble, and Shin told her they could only last a year. However, Shin suddenly stopped, making Dam confused. She confirmed again and asked what would happen if the marble wasn't removed within a year. Shin told her she would die. Dam was shocked to hear this.
죽는다고요.
Shin then teleported Dam to his house. He reassured Dam that they still had 1 year of time. He would try to find a way to take out the marble.
아주 여유가 넘치시네.
In short, Dam was seen walking home with Jae-jin in a very drunk state.
너도 꽤 좋은 놈이니까.
When Jae-jin left first, Dam felt nauseous. She pounded her chest until she vomited something. Dam immediately remembered the red marble. She was very happy because she thought she had finally expelled the marble. Excitedly, Dam immediately went to see Shin and told him that she had successfully removed the marble. Now she wouldn't die within a year. Shin then checked it and told Dam that it was just a bitten candy. Dam was disappointed again. However, she started feeling more nauseous. She noticed the celadon jar there. Shin remembered that it was made by his teacher who created national treasures. Shin then used his telekinesis power to make the objects float. Dam thought she was hallucinating. Shin then opened the toilet door so that Dam could vomit in the toilet. The next day, Shin prepared an agreement. He wrote down 3 rules that Dam had to follow.
신우야, 이야 갑이라 표시.
First, Dam was forbidden to have direct contact with men born in the year of the tiger. Second, Dam was not allowed to get drunk for the sake of her health, because Shin's marble was also vulnerable to illnesses Dam experienced. Third, Dam was forbidden to eat fried chicken. Dam protested, saying that with the first rule she wouldn't even know who was born in the year of the tiger, meaning she would have to avoid all men. She also disagreed with the second and third rules. With only 1 year left to live, she would have to endure misery without being able to eat her beloved fried chicken. Shin told her that chicken blood was believed to ward off bad luck, and it affected his fox energy. While at campus, Dam was almost hit by a car. The owner of the car was Shin Woo, one of the students from the 2017 class. He was known as a playboy who had dated 20 girls. Jae-jin knew him because he was his research project partner. While walking, Dam was called by Shin Woo, who intended to return Dam's fallen jacket. Dam remembered that Shin Woo was from the 2017 class, which meant he was born in the year of the tiger. Dam told Shin Woo to put the jacket on the ground. Shin Woo was very confused. Dam then carefully took her jacket and immediately left. Shin Woo found Dam's behavior strange. While trying to avoid direct contact with men, Dam accidentally almost fell. One of her friends tried to help her, but Dam avoided him. However, her friend still managed to catch her, preventing her from falling. Dam was surprised because there was no reaction at all. It turned out that her friend was born in the year of the rabbit, even though he was from the 2017 class, because he was born earlier. Her friend then invited Dam to a general gathering. Dam immediately refused because she was avoiding drinking, but when her friend told her that they would be eating meat, Dam instantly agreed to join. In short, the general gathering began. However, Dam was faced with chicken meat. She was very annoyed. She then thought about tasting a little, but ended up canceling it.
안 죽을래요.
Meanwhile, Shin Woo was watching Dam. He then approached her and wanted to join them. Instantly, Dam wanted to leave, but her friend stopped her. In the end, Dam sat back down with Shin Woo beside her.
재진이 동기야?
아, 네, 최시경입니다.
넌 안 마셔?
아, 제가 신장
When Shin Woo tried to touch Dam's shoulder, Dam avoided it. Shin Woo tried again, but Dam kept dodging.
이 선배 뭐야? 나한테 왜 이래?
Eventually, Shin Woo left to answer a phone call. When heading home, Dam met Shin Woo again. Not paying attention to the road, Dam almost got hit by a bicycle. Shin Woo tried to help her, but Dam avoided him, causing her to fall. Shin Woo began to suspect that Dam was deliberately avoiding him. When she arrived home, Dam told Shin that she felt tormented. She had been at a gathering with chicken dishes in front of her, while she was the only one eating celery and macaroni. However, Shin couldn't understand her, because he didn't eat chicken.
죽어도 못 먹는 고통스러운 심장을.
전 닭을 안 먹으니까요.
Dam then said it was like forcing Shin to quit smoking. Shin claimed he would be fine if he had to quit smoking, but Dam doubted it. She then challenged Shin to truly stop smoking, and proposed an agreement just like he did. Shin was to follow 3 rules.
이하 갑이라 표시. 을은 갑의 구슬과 목숨을.
First, he had to report his research on removing the marble from Dam's body. Second, he was not allowed to give Dam cold stares. And third, he was to quit smoking.
내 사항을 준수함. 보고할 걸 만들기 위해서라도 솔직히 구미호라는 특성상 미소를 사인해 주시겠어요?
Dam didn't force Shin to accept the agreement, as long as she was allowed to eat chicken. However, Shin confidently signed the agreement. After class, Dam saw a light coming from the basement. Suddenly, a cat startled her, causing her phone to fall in front of the basement door. Dam went to pick it up. Suddenly, curiosity struck her about what was inside the basement. She entered, but ended up locked in. she saw Shin approaching and felt frightened.
죄송해요. 금방 나갈게요.
Shin asked what she was doing. Dam told him she was locked inside and asked him to let her out. However, Shin was also locked in. He knew the doorknob was broken, so he had wanted to fix it. He had even propped the door with a block of wood, but the block fell when Dam pushed her way in.
죄송해요. 괜히 저 때문에. 혹시 그럼 저희는 어떻게 나가야 되나?
Shin then borrowed Dam's phone to call a repairman. He also explained that he couldn't teleport there because teleportation would cause waves, and he didn't want his valuable items to be broken by the teleportation waves.
네, 여기 삼청동 78에 12번. 아, 그리고 전등동은 나갈 것 같아. 저쪽에 밝게 해줄 뭔가가 있어.
After that, Shin invited Dam to see his collection. It turned out Dam understood historical artifacts and seemed happy to see Shin's collection. Shin was able to obtain those items because he had lived in those eras. He had once been a scientist and even joined the military.
과학자면 완전 엘리트셨네요. 무간도하셨구나. 어쩐지 저기 어렸을 때부터 사극 보는 거?
Dam envied Shin for being able to live in many different eras. It turned out Shin had been alive for 999 years. However, for Shin, a long life felt like nothing. Dam seemed to understand his feelings and quickly changed the subject.
언제부터요?
임진년 때
그럼 담배를 400년 넘게 피우시 제가 뭐라고 그 400년 습관을 따지고 보면 고주할아버지 고주할아버지. 와 예쁘다.
마음에 들면 가져도 좋아요.
That night, Dam saw an ad for her favorite boiled chicken. She was startled when Shin caught her watching it. She immediately told him she could endure a year without eating chicken, then went to her room. Suddenly, Shin took the initiative to cook for Dam. He made boiled chicken as in the ad, but used duck meat instead. Shin then gave it to Dam, who was very happy and immediately tried it. However, Shin's cooking was not tasty. Dam tried to lie so as not to hurt his feelings, but was caught when Shin wanted to serve her more. Feeling guilty, Shin decided to buy Dam some food instead.
맛없구나.
그냥 참고 먹을 거 그랬나?
After washing the dishes, Dam suddenly felt stomach cramps and quickly went to the toilet. However, she had a problem because her toilet was clogged. She kept trying to flush it, but it still wouldn't drain. At the same time, Shin Woo contacted her. He wanted to return her money and asked to meet, but Dam refused because she was busy. She asked Shin Woo to just transfer the money. Curious, Shin Woo asked what she was busy with. Dam told him she was trying to fix a clogged toilet and then asked for his help to fix it.
빨리 전에 귀여운 문제가 아니다.
Finally, Shin Woo guided Dam over the phone. Thanks to his instructions, the toilet finally flushed. Dam was very happy. This time, she agreed to meet Shin Woo and even offered to treat him.
이 와중에 진짜 뚫는 거였어?
Suddenly, Dam remembered Shin. She quickly went out to meet Shin, who had just arrived. Dam asked Shin to check her marble, worried that it might have come out when she went to the toilet. Shin smiled upon hearing this and told her that nothing was wrong with her marble. Dam was greatly relieved. Late at night, Shin dreamed about his past when he was in the military. He immediately woke up, looking shaken by the experience, and went outside to clear his mind. Not long after, Dam approached him, saying she couldn't sleep and had decided to go outside.
그냥 좀 힘들어 보여서 걱정돼가. 자신이 얼마나 오랜 세월을 살았는지 괜히 저 때문인 것 같아서 미안하기도 하고요.
Shin then remembered seeing Dam saddened by the fact that she only had 1 year to live. He also recalled his fellow gumiho's words, doubting whether Shin still truly wanted to become human. He was surprised that Dam had been able to change him, because in truth, Shin already knew how to remove the marble. Shin tries to confirm something that makes him both doubtful and certain. Finally, Shin holds Dam's hand, and it turns out that the marble inside Dam's stomach is still red. Frustrated, Shin tells Dam to come back and moves in to kiss her. However, just as he is about to kiss her, the marble turns blue. Shocked by what happened, Dam comes to her senses and tries to leave, but Shin pulls her back and hugs her tightly. The next day, Shin immediately tells his friend Hee-sun about what happened yesterday. Hee-sun is surprised because Shin's experience is something she has never had before and did not expect. Meanwhile, Dam does not stay still. She tells her two friends, Soo-kyung and Do Jae-jin, about it, pretending it is from a friend's point of view. Soo-kyung boldly guesses that it is proof of affection. Dam adds that they have to live together. Soo-kyung and Do Jae-jin keep asking if they are in a relationship, but Dam denies it. She explains again that they must live together because her friend has something. Soo-kyung and Do Jae-jin both guess that Dam's friend is pregnant. Dam denies it again, leaving her friends confused. Back with Shin, he is still puzzled and asks how Hee-soon's fox marble could turn blue. Hee-soon proudly explains that the marble changed on its own, and she realized that she instantly became human. She is still puzzled as to why it is so difficult for Shin and not as fast as hers. Hye-soon advises Shin to make Dam happy, as this might be his last chance in 1,000 years to become human. According to Hye-soon, the best way is to date Dam so that she remains happy. Unexpectedly, at home, Shin chokes on his drink because Dam suddenly asks him directly if he intends to date her, and questions his purpose in hugging her, if not to pursue her. Shin answers that he just doesn't want Dam to suddenly leave him while still carrying the marble inside her. Hearing this, Dam tells him to act normal and not overdo it so she doesn't misunderstand. Shin then tries to confess his feelings and asks Dam to date him. When Dam rejects him, Shin makes an excuse, saying he is experiencing withdrawal symptoms. The next day, Dam runs into Sun-woo, whom she tries to avoid. Sun-woo insists on inviting her to eat together, even though Dam refuses. Not only that, but Sun-woo suddenly starts giving her attention and tries to get closer to her, even though she keeps avoiding him.
오늘 후문에서 모인다는데.
On the other hand, Hee-soon laughs at Shin for being rejected by Dam simply because he is not her ideal type. Hearing that, she suggests a few things he can do, such as making Dam happy by giving her gifts. According to Hye-soon, humans love gifts. Meanwhile, Sun-woo keeps approaching Dam and even asks her to watch a movie together. Hearing that makes Dam feel uncomfortable and shocked. Meanwhile, behind her, Jeon Da-young and Seo-jin start gossiping about Dam, accusing her of seducing Sun-woo. Noticing Sun-woo's strange behavior lately, Dam becomes puzzled and tells Jae-jin and Soo-kyung about it. Both of them suspect that Sun-woo truly likes Dam. Dam still feels strange and walks home wearily. But suddenly her expression changes, and she smiles happily when she sees the food Shin has prepared.
바로 그거죠.
Seeing Shin's thoughtfulness makes Dam want to ask for advice about what happened. She finally tells him everything, and Shin agrees to let Dam do a dating simulation. The next day, seeing Dam neatly dressed reminds Shin of when she wore his oversized brown t-shirt with a hole at the collar. Shin suggests she wear that instead of her current outfit to make Sun-woo lose interest. They eventually go to a restaurant. Dam tries to practice eating in a disgusting way. Seeing this, Shin reminds her to order jjajangmyeon with pickled radish and do what she usually does, like eating half a radish slice and putting the rest back into the bowl. Hearing this, Dam feels embarrassed and covers her bowl with both hands. Moving to a cafe, Shin and Dam go for hot coffee. Dam starts sipping it noisily. Hearing this, Shin also suggests that she do the same when with Sun-woo. Dam becomes gloomy, realizing that she must have looked terrible all this time, especially in Shin's eyes.
이만 일어날까요?
On the way back from the cafe, Dam stays silent and sulky, while Shin keeps trying to find a way to cheer her up. Along the way, Dam notices an archery game with a stuffed animal as the prize. Seeing her excitement, Shin indulges her and plays. His arrows hit the target right in the center, winning Dam the stuffed animal she wanted.
이 인형 생각했다면
Dam tries to act silly by striking some smiling poses while holding the stuffed animal. Shin tells her not to smile like that, because to him, Dam looks most beautiful when she smiles naturally. On the way home, Sun-woo, who is hanging out with his friends, accidentally sees Dam walking with a man. He follows her and surprises Dam, who is answering a call while waiting in line with Shin. Sun-woo then asks Dam again to watch a movie together, but Shin quickly interrupts. Shin tries to make Sun-woo leave, but he refuses unless Dam promises to reply to his message. Hearing this, Dam reluctantly agrees, ending with Sun-woo patting her head, remembering that Sun-woo was born in the year of the tiger. Suddenly, Dam reacts and feels intense pain in her stomach. After arriving at Shin's house, Dam lies down immediately, and Shin tries to heal her just by touching her stomach. Instantly, the pain disappears. While Dam is lying down, her younger brother named Dan, let's just call him Danny to avoid confusion, tries to contact her. Dam is startled and accidentally blurts out her friend's name randomly. After the call, the next morning Danny waits for Dam at campus. Danny accidentally runs into Jae-jin and asks him about his sister. This is where suspicion begins, as Danny and Jae-jin give conflicting accounts about Dam. They then decide to hide and investigate to find out where Dam is really living. Jae-jin and Danny secretly follow Dam home and manage to get inside. Meeting Shin in the living room, Dam feels confused and panicked about what will happen next. Jae-jin and Danny do not stay silent and keep throwing rapid questions at Shin. Eventually, Danny tries to splash orange juice at Shin and they both freeze in shock. Shin then uses his power to teleport Jae-jin and Danny away. Panicked, Dam tries to call Danny, but he doesn't answer. Dam begins to cry and looks for Shin. She is truly furious about what happened, afraid that Danny and Jae-jin might really have disappeared. Shin insists that he cannot think and feel like a human. This makes Dam angry, and she tells Shin to learn how human emotions work, saying that this is why he still hasn't become fully human. Dam runs straight to her house and is shocked to find her younger brother lounging around with his friends. She plans to go to her own room but finds it occupied by one of Danny's friends. She then tries to go to Danny's room, but it is also full of his friends. Feeling uncomfortable, Danny suggests that Dam leave the house, and reluctantly, Dam does so. On the other hand, Hye-sun meets Shin again and gives him advice about what happened. According to Hye-sun, Shin is too rational, thinking in ways opposite to humans. Moreover, if Shin continues being this rational, Hye-sun believes that Dam will leave him. Hearing this, Shin feels guilty and looks for Dam in her room. Unfortunately, the room is still empty and cold. Meanwhile, Dam, who has been grumbling in her heart during her way home, asks Shin where her phone is when she sees him. She borrows Shin's phone and is shocked to find that there are no contacts at all, not family nor friends. Pestered with questions by Dam, Shin takes back his phone and leaves her. Dam feels guilty about what she has done. She follows Shin outside, thanks him for everything they have been through, and apologizes for her actions. Dam invites Shin to eat jokbal outside while having a conversation. During the talk, Shin explains that he has only learned about a handful of emotions based on the people around him before, and doesn't really know human emotions. Dam then asks Shin to promise that they will help each other from now on. The next morning, Dam wakes up in her uniform and finds a text message from Shin. Smiling at his message, Dam promises herself to do better and begins carrying out her plans. Together with Sunwoo, Dam invites him to eat jjajangmyeon by the Han River and starts making her usual dry jokes. Sunwoo finds it awkward and odd, as do Dam's actions at that moment.
정도 뚝뚝 떨어지.
Meanwhile, Shin returns home in the evening, turns on the lights, and smiles when he finds Dam's text message next to his.
하는 거 괜찮아요. 아니,
He then looks out the window and sees it raining. At the same time, Dam and Sunwoo are caught in the rain and decide to run together under it.
조심히 가세요.
After Sunwoo gets on his bus and remains silent without replying to Dam, she becomes convinced that she has successfully made him lose interest in her. Afterwards, Dam gets on her own bus and falls asleep without answering Shin's call. After safely getting off, she feels happy when she sees Shin's missed call. Unfortunately, her phone dies because the battery runs out, and she ends up running towards Shin's house. Before she is even halfway there, Shin appears with his black umbrella, leaving Dam puzzled. Shin then asks Dam to always pick up his calls, even when she is right beside him. This instantly startles Dam. After returning from lunch with Shin-woo, Dam tells Shin what she had done while eating ox blood soup. Dam says that she tried to act as ridiculously as possible so that Shin-woo would feel embarrassed by her. When Dam goes to get some radish kimchi, Shin's eyes accidentally glance at her phone and see a message from Shin-woo inviting Dam to go watch a movie again. Seeing this, Shin feels a little upset and falls silent. The next morning, while Shin is watering the plants in his garden, Dam arrives in a beautiful purple outfit, elegantly dressed. Seeing this, Shin becomes even more pensive as he recalls Shin-woo's message from the night before. He thinks that Dam is going to meet Shin-woo. Meanwhile, Shin-woo feels confused in his room after receiving Dam's message, which comes across as distant and aloof, completely different from her overly forward attitude yesterday.
내일 시간 돼? 영화.
Later, without checking the time, Dam returns home cheerfully and greets Shin warmly with a smile. Shin, still deep in thought, immediately says that from now on they must enforce a curfew. Dam must be home by exactly 10 p.m. Shin explains this by saying he doesn't want to worry, since Dam is still carrying his marble inside her. The next day in class, Dam sits sweetly next to Jae-jin. However, she feels uncomfortable because he soon keeps staring at her. The class begins, and they receive an assignment requiring two-way communication. The professor announces the groupings, and Dam is stunned to learn that she will be in the same group as Shin-woo.
각자 확인하세요.
After class, Dam walks through the campus garden with her senior while holding a handout. She sees Shin-woo with his friends and accidentally overhears a conversation belittling her. Dam glares at Shin-woo before walking away angrily. Dam then leaves Shin-woo behind and goes to the library to work on the group assignment alone. She continues working until the library is completely empty, leaving only herself. While working, Dam pauses and begins to cry. She feels that the day has been unbearably difficult, and that she has been holding back her tears all day. When leaving the library, Dam is startled as the lights that were off suddenly turn on. Looking toward the lights, she sees Shin waiting at the end of the hall. Dam immediately hugs Shin and tells him that she is not okay.
괜찮아요, 다미 씨.
안 괜찮아요. 억울한 일이 있었는데.
Shin tells Dam that it would be better if they could go somewhere that could calm her when she is sad and make her happy again. Dam then takes Shin to karaoke, where he is surprised by her song choice. As if cursing Shin, Dam shouts the lyrics full of insults loudly and passionately. Satisfied with her curse-filled singing, Dam sits down and asks Shin to sing. Shin accepts the challenge and calmly sings an old song. Hearing this, Dam bursts out laughing and claps throughout Shin's performance. Even after the song ends, and they leave the karaoke place, Dam is still laughing loudly. Even while Shin chooses what ice cream to eat, Dam continues laughing because his taste is so much like an old man's. Then Shin and Dam quietly enjoy their ice cream. In the middle of it, Dam shows Shin a photo her younger brother sent her and says that she attended her brother's graduation. Shin smiles happily, realizing that his suspicion about Dam meeting Shin-woo was wrong. The next morning, in the bright atmosphere, Dam walks to the kitchen for a drink, but she feels pain. On her way back to her room, she accidentally meets Shin and tells him that she is on her period, and it hurts. Dam continues lying in her room until the afternoon. Seeing that she hasn't left her room at all, Shin becomes worried. He goes to her room and knocks. With no response, he knocks again, and finally hears Dam's faint reply with a groan. Worried, Shin immediately enters Dam's room and finds her lying helplessly. Dam says that she is in pain. With a panicked face, Shin asks what she needs. Dam then says that she wants pizza, gamjatang, and other foods. Hearing this, Shin quickly rushes to get the food and asks Dam to come out. When Dam sees the food she wanted, she immediately sits down and eats it one by one. Dam tells Shin that she is still in pain, but eating what she craved makes her happy. He then hands her a package containing supplements for menstruation, along with snacks that Dam loves. After enjoying the delicious food, Dam lies down again to continue resting. She then checks her phone and finds a message from Seon-woo inviting her to work on their assignment tomorrow. Without much thought, Dam agrees so that the task will be finished quickly. However, the next morning, Dam regrets agreeing to meet Seon-woo, forgetting that the second day of her period is the most painful. As she leaves her room, Dam accidentally runs into Shin. Seeing her in pain, Shin becomes worried and tells her not to go. Dam refuses, saying she must finish it. Shin then takes the initiative to help by pretending to be Dam for a day. Dam feels uneasy and asks Shin if this is really okay. Shin replies that it is better for her to rest at home since her period pain is still bad and it would be risky if she interacts with Seon-woo. Dam finally agrees.
괜히 다미 씨는 걱정 말고 왠지 극한의 포토샵을 거쳤으니 배려해 주신 것 같아요.
Disguised as Dam, Shin calmly walks to the meeting point where Dam and Seon-woo had planned to meet.
오늘따라
Once they meet, Seon-woo immediately invites Dam to eat at a nearby restaurant. Shin instead suggests they eat at a gamjatang restaurant near campus. They then eat in silence. Shin eats neatly and gracefully, while Seon-woo, watching, feels that Dam looks very beautiful at that moment. Meanwhile, Shin, still disguised as Dam, looks at Seon-woo and thinks to himself that Seon-woo is very easy to read.
예쁘게도 먹네.
이걸 어떻게 떼어낸다.
Shin returns home exhausted after pretending to be Dam, and he accidentally falls asleep on the living room sofa. Dam wakes up in the middle of the night, sees Shin asleep, immediately covers him with a blanket, and feels guilty seeing how tired he looks. The next morning, Shin wakes up and sees Dam, but she quickly walks away, recalling the message she received yesterday. From that moment, Shin starts avoiding Dam at every opportunity, which makes Dam feel strange and sad.
아무래도 어르신이 날 피하시는 것 같은데.
After class, Dam sees Shin at a cafe and immediately complains about his behavior, expressing her displeasure and asking him to act normally again.
너의 맘이 깊어지는 걸